Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Dallas video, we're calling it, which is actually the DFW area video, because in today's video, we will be going to many places, including but not limited to Frisco, which is also known as the Star. And it is the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys. It stands to reason this will be my favorite place in all of our DFW area tour, but we'll also be in a place called Grapevine, Texas, which is the most highly recommended place by our audience. They say Main Street in Grapevine is just fantastic. And so I guess Grapevine is like a suburb of Dallas, more or less, but keep in mind, right beside the city of Dallas is the city of Fort Worth. They've sort of grown together. And so we're starting our video today here in Fort Worth at a place called the Stockyards, which at first glance does look like a tourist trap, but keep in mind, right here in the Stockyards is totally the real deal for cowboy culture here in Texas. So let's go. We are ready to explore DFW. And so, for example, this place is the White Elephant Saloon. Now, Ivana and I had to go in here for a beer because when you walk in, it almost feels like if the walls could talk in this place, man. They've got cowboy hats on the ceiling with names on them. I guess they're famous cowboys, but this is the oldest saloon in America, and this is the exact location where more than a few very well documented gunfights took place. So you can imagine two cowboys in this exact location, they're playing poker, they get into a disagreement about the gambling, and they start having a shootout. This is a very historic street here at the Fort Worth Stockyards, despite the fact that nowadays it's a total tourist attraction where, look at this, people in the middle of the street taking photos. So from the wild, wild west to a very family-friendly tourist attraction, we love this place. We've been here 3 times. It's fantastic, or maybe 4 times by now. It's fantastic. And actually, this is one of the reasons we keep coming back, because behind a super massive Christmas tree, we have a skating rink. This is an ice skating rink right here in Fort Worth, Texas. Outdoor, mind you. And so I, for one, am impressed that there is a hockey rink right here in the Stockyards. You could say there's something for everyone, even a Canadian. Now, this place is basically one main street. There are some side branches coming off, but for the most part, the Stockyards are one main strip, which is historically significant because about 150 years ago, this place was a cattle exchange. And I could not think of a better place to discuss the real and true and amazing history of the American cowboy than the Stockyards, so let's talk about it. All right, so after the Civil War, the Confederate soldiers returned home to the South, for instance, here in Texas, and they realized there were all of these semi-wild cattle hanging out across Texas. And this is happening simultaneous to the North having a huge cattle and beef shortage. So if you were a very young and rugged and enterprising young man, you could go out into the countryside and you could wrestle up some cattle and bring them to the North for a huge profit. Now you gotta remember, these cattle were not trying to be wrestled and not trying to be rounded up. So this is why you have statues of a cowboy wrestling a bull down by his horns. This cowboy is basically saying, get over here, I'm bringing you to Chicago. Or for instance, when you go to a rodeo, which we've been to, they have events and it's competition for who can lasso the calf's feet and tie them up quicker. Same thing, it's give me your hands and feet, I'm bringing you to Pittsburgh for a big profit. And so, 2 facts blow my mind about the Cowboys. 1, 25% of the Cowboys were black, which I would not have guessed, honestly. And 2, the cowboy window for real profitable bringing cattle to the North was about 15 years, which is a very short time frame. I would have thought it was 50, 60, 70 years, because cowboy culture is so prominent today. Cowboy hat, cowboy boots, scar on your face, tobacco in your lip, pair of jeans, nice butt. The Cowboys are the best, as we know. And so it's no coincidence the greatest football team in the world is called the Dallas Cowboys, but my point is, the way you would bring your cattle up to the North was something called a cattle drive. There was no train track, there was no interstate or Holiday Inn, and so you'd be on horseback, slowly walking your cattle up to the North for big money. And just as we speak, there's about to be an example of a cattle drive happening right now down Main Street in Stockyards. So let's watch the kettle drive. And so the kettle drive lasted about 1 minute. It's pretty simple, but they do walk a bunch of Texas Longhorns down Main Street with a couple of horseback cowboys. Now this gives us a good time to have a word from our sponsor. And so introducing or reintroducing Holafly eSim to our channel. We're very grateful to be sponsored by them because right now the eSim in our mobile devices is Holafly. It's the best one for travel and the most convenient way to go around the world. So an eSIM is a thing you can download and install to your phone in less than 1 minute, and it replaces the need to fumble around with a tiny little SIM card every time you go to a new place. Holafly works in more than 200 destinations. You can even buy a regional eSIM, so for example for Europe, allowing you to travel freely, and Holafly even offers something called a global eSIM, which would be the most convenient way to go on an open itinerary on a one-way ticket anywhere you please. They've got 24-hour customer service, which to be clear, we've never used because it's never had an issue, but they have that. They have hotspot, and they even have a 6-month return policy. If your travel plans happen to change, you can get full money back. So we have a code for you for a discount. It's called JetLag Holla 5. JetLag Holla 5. You'll see it on the screen. It'll be in the description. It'll be in the comment section. Without exaggeration, the best eSIM to travel. Baby Jean is afraid of the ponies. She's afraid of the stuffed cow. We need to give a big thanks to Holafly, and we need to get this sweet girl maybe something to eat. So let's go get something to eat. JetLag Holla 5, best eSIM for travel. And so we're thinking just before dinner, we'll take a quick photo with Santa Claus, although we ran into a little bit of a problem.
$45 for one digital. What you think?
That's a lot, no?
Abandon it?
I think abandon ship.
Okay.
Wow. Am I cheap? $45 for a photo? Am I cheap?
It is expensive.
Should we do it?
I don't know. What you think?
I can't decide. You have to decide. I feel cheap, but I also feel that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Twice as much as it should be.
Let's
No?
abandon.
$20.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a digital.
Never mind. Abandon ship. We're thinking it's because it's cowboy hat Santa. The guy looks pretty cool inside.
Yeah.
It's not your typical Santa.
It's not the regular Santa. It's a cowboy Santa.
We couldn't afford Santa this year, Gene. Sorry, Gene. We couldn't afford Santa. I do feel bad, though. All right, so we're not going for steak today, which is a tough choice because we passed some steak houses. But stay tuned to this video because we will get the one and only Texas barbecue coming soon. We did get some Mexican Coke because we're coming from Mexican food. And yo, they gave us this styrofoam cup. I think it's sauce for the tacos, right? Baby Jean loved the sauce.
I don't think that's a sauce, Steve. That's soup.
That's soup.
Bean soup, yeah.
Whatever it is, Baby Jean. I thought you were supposed to put it in the taco. Is that wrong?
Well, you can, but...
Probably not the best descriptor of if this is authentic Mexican or not, but at the very least we can show you guys and you guys can compare because I'm sure lots of Mexicans are watching because we were in Mexico less than a month ago. Yvonne's got a good looking one.
This is Al Pastor. It's good, we can share too.
When you say Al Pastor, what do you mean?
This is like it's from like that, the picture behind you. Like almost like
Like a doner kebab.
yeah, like a doner kebab kind of thing. They shave it.
Oh, okay.
Barbecue pork, and Steve is barbecue beef.
This is almost like a plain one because also in Mexico it's 3 per order. Over here it's 4.
Yeah.
Hold on. Jean is hungry, dude.
She's hungry. She likes that soup. This bean, it's a little bit spicy, but she's liking it.
It's bean and ham. There's pork in there.
It's called menudo para el crudo. All right, let's eat.
Jean loves it. Okay, let's eat. For me, it's good. But the main difference is the taco shell.
Ah.
In Mexico, the taco shell was different. This one, it tastes a bit like Old El Paso. Shouldn't have said that. But this one doesn't taste as homemade as the other one.
Ah. Ah, okay.
This one is more. It's different. Still good food though. Anyway, let's eat.
Let's eat.
All right, so here's my theory, and keep in mind, this is just a theory. In Texas, right, for the tortilla, I'm talking about the taco shell, they use American corn, whereas in Mexico, they use Mexican corn.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is a pretty in-depth taco review, and I can barely spell the word taco, but the tortilla was totally different than in Mexico.
True.
Over here, I hate to say this word, it's a bit rubbery, which doesn't sound good. To be fair, there's still good tacos in there. We enjoyed the meal, but stay tuned to this video because we got lots more to do, so let's keep going around DFW.
Oh my goodness, look at the cute cowboy boots. Jean.
Must buy. Good quality, they're real good with the stitching and everything.
Yeah. See, I'd rather spend $45 on this than on the Santa photo. Sorry, Santa.
This or one digital photo, come on. Yeah, I'll buy.
Let's see if we can find something her size.
Wow.
Pretty heavy duty cowboy boots for such a little girl. Very nice.
Get 2 for Jean, 2 for me, no?
Maybe this one is more her size. Favorite. Is that your favorite?
They're so good. Look, perfect size too. A little bit bigger than what she's wearing now. Beauty. Look at that with the zipper.
Now for me, I prefer this one.
So cheesy, so lame.
It's not. It's better for kids.
It smells like real leather. Give it a smell.
So is it.
Wow.
This is this
No,
one.
I don't like the smell of it. I don't like it. Yeah, pretty nice, huh, Jean?
She can't decide. More like her mommy can't decide which one. They all look nice, right, Jean? Yeah.
So we decided on the red boots for baby Jean, and just like that, through the magic of video editing, we are already at the Star here in Frisco, also known as Dallas Cowboys headquarters. We got a bit of good news, bad news. Bad news is we cannot go on the little turf field there because of the barriers blocking it. The good news is they've blocked it off because I believe there's a Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders show in a couple of hours, which we should be able to see. Now, because we couldn't go out there and play, we went and had pizza right across from the Star that was cooked in a Dallas Cowboys helmet. What could be better than that? Wood fire pizza oven shaped like a Cowboys helmet, and the food's pretty good.
Very good.
So I'd recommend it, and it was literally right across the street from the Star. Now, before the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleader show, we booked a tour. We have no idea what to expect, really. But we are going on a tour now, so let's go.
Numbers will change. I don't want to hear about the elephant in the room, okay? Well, I'm talking about that 5. We need to change this.
Okay, brief review of the tour at the Star at Frisco. We saw tons of practice facilities and training facilities where the players would warm up, even where they watch film in a big auditorium. And of course, baby Jean was determined to climb to the top of the auditorium, which she did. We even saw where the guys give their post-game press conferences. And of course, for me, it was nice to see the podcast studio because I watch so many podcasts. But to be honest, we don't have the world's best footage because it's a tour group and the tour guide was great, but it's hard to get really great footage when you're just kind of going room to room and learning tons of interesting information. I'll put it this way. We took a tour of AT&T Stadium last year. AT&T Stadium would be interesting even if you're not a Cowboys fan. Agree?
Yes.
Whereas the tour at the Star at Frisco, for you, Ivana, I'm assuming it was not as interesting.
No, I prefer the AT&T Stadium tour.
That's what I thought you would say. So for me, the Star was awesome because we even saw 5 Lombardi trophies right there. So it's great for a Cowboys fan, but for someone like my lovely wife Ivana, that was just
I am a Cowboys fan, but not like Steve.
Fair enough. Anyway, we're gonna check the Cowboys cheerleader show starting in 10 minutes, and then we're gonna go to Grapevine. So the night is young here in DFW. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody knows how to put on a show quite like the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'm probably gonna have to talk over the footage because of the copyrighted music, but I did not expect thousands and thousands and thousands of people to come out. I think there was more people at the Dallas Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza than there is at Washington Commander home games. That was unbelievable. I believe it was Tyrone Crawford who lit up the Christmas tree, who by the way is Canadian, and we even saw Santa Claus at one point. There were people on rooftops. There's thousands of people spilling out into the streets. I did not expect that. That was a fantastic show. I thought we were gonna go there watch them dance a little bit, and go home. They were lighting up fireworks, man. That was unbelievable. It's no wonder this team is the richest team ever because the budget for that was huge, man. That was an epic show. So come for the tour, but stay for the extravaganza. And like I said, let's go to Grapevine now. That was a 5-star show. That was fantastic. And so, welcome to the Christmas capital of Texas, and first impressions, very good. We've got tons of buildings that are all covered in lights. It stands to reason that even if it were not Christmas, Grapevine would be interesting to walk because very small town with beautiful buildings on each side. It looks like a good place to wander even if the lights were not on. But even more than the buildings, I love the people because we've got many young couples holding hands, which makes me happy. Many little babies like the ones we have, and especially a lot of families wearing the same outfit. Oh, we should have worn our matching pajamas.
That's right.
Opportunity missed because it is a festive place where everybody's smiling. I see a lot of people with a coffee cup that they're drinking. I think there might be some Baileys in that coffee cup. I think the Christmas cheer is all around us, and so absolutely must do in Texas, especially near Christmas, is Grapevine.
It feels like Christmas. Like Christmas spirit is here. Steve always say, it doesn't feel like Christmas if there is no snow on the ground. But here,
I take it back. Ivana's right. It feels like Christmas over here. It's not cold, it's not snowing, but the Christmas feeling is in the air. Ivana's right.
all the lights, they're so beautiful. The shops and restaurants, beautifully decorated with some Christmas markets.
Yeah.
Children playing on a carousel. Very good vibe here.
Very good vibes. Check that out, everybody. Another skating rink right here in Texas. I'm impressed, man, because it's not cold out and the ice looks, I wouldn't say it looks like great ice. Maybe it looks a bit like they're skating on snow, but they're skating out there, man. Come on. Not bad at all. 2 skating rinks here in Texas. Christmas is in the air. And so for me, Grapevine's a must-see, and now we're finally gonna actually go to Dallas. So the Dallas video will finally go to Dallas. Let's go.
Nice fountains, right, Jean? I think she found her favorite place in Dallas, right here.
She doesn't want to leave the fountains.
She loves the fountains.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally, and I mean finally, made it to downtown Dallas. Now, we started our journey at the exact location that JFK was shot. We'll talk more about that later. In the meantime, we have found some very quiet streets with not a lot of foot traffic, as well as some interesting parks with some quite beautiful art installations, curved glass, and digital screens. So our first impressions of Dallas has been pretty good overall. With that being said, we are now on our way to a place called Deep Ellum, which evidently is the hippest and trendiest of all the neighborhoods. So Ivana and I are gonna go be hip and trendy for a little bit here. Maybe we'll do some vaping. Okay, let's go. Let's go. God, pause the vlog, everybody. This is a SUV full of snakes. The driver's got a snake hanging out the door, out the window. Wow, talk about hip. Reptiles in the front seat. Wow.
Nice jacket, Steve.
$25, not bad, eh?
Still cheaper than Mexico. Wow.
the same thing. How far is it Mexico? Thrift
Nice.
shops, stuff like that. And like,
Thrift shop.
like custom stuff, you know?
Very nice. Ooh. Christmas tree cactus. Very nice. Lots of little shops like this. Antiques and restaurants. So we're hungry and we're heading to famous Texas barbecue. Yeah!
All right, so you walk in the front door of this place, and I'm not exaggerating, when you open the door, the smell of brisket hits you right in the face. It's so good. It's intoxicating the minute you walk in. And then you notice it's full of people, and then just to top it off, when you order, they slice the brisket right in front of you. I honestly don't even have the vocabulary to tell you how good this is gonna be. If you're a tourist in Texas, you gotta eat Texas barbecue. In fact, we've seen a few people walking around with Minnesota Vikings jerseys. If you're from Minnesota coming in town, you gotta eat this because I'm sure they don't have it in Minnesota, and honestly, it's so good. Although I will complain, what's with the plastic fork, man? Can I get a real fork, please? Other than that, I'm telling you, this is gonna be so good. There's a certain type of brisket where you don't even have to taste it, just the way it smells and the way it looks with the bark on the outside. Oh, so good.
You don't even need a knife.
No.
It just comes off.
Oh my God. The fat is the best part. This shiny part, it's so flavorful and it's so tender, and you got the fat right beside the bark. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, it's amazing. I can't tell you how good it is. 5 stars, 6 stars, pick a number. It's so good. It just rips right off with one hand and a baby in your other hand. Oh, it's great. Let's see if Jean likes it. Oh, Jean.
Good?
I'm sure she loves it. And I bet you Jean will love mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Although not very cheesy mac and cheese, eh?
She likes it.
The best. The brisket's the best part for me.
Yeah, and this place is packed, man.
For a good reason.
Yeah.
And I guess some people eat it with sauce on the brisket.
Yeah.
For me, that's crazy. The meat is so good, I just eat it plain. I guess even some people put the meat on top of bread, and then the bread with sauce.
Yeah.
For me, when the meat is this delicious, it's just meat, that's all I want.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, for YouTube, we get all the sides, make it look full. If I was coming on my own, I would just get brisket. To be fair, no one does that though. Everyone's got sides.
Yeah, yeah.
The sides are pretty good. The mac and cheese,
I think it's just to fill you up because the brisket itself is not cheap.
Not cheap.
Yeah, so to fill you up, you get the sides.
Oh, I see what it is. The mac and cheese for me is okay. The green beans are really good.
Yeah, the green
They're
beans is
still
really good.
crunchy and flavorful.
Yeah.
Perfectly cooked.
Yeah.
And the rice is good, but the brisket is just... Oh, it's
5 stars.
6 stars. It's outrageously good. We also got the pork rib. Let's see. My expectation, it'll be good, but it can't be the brisket. Let's see. Look at the bark, eh? The way it looks on the outside, for me, this isn't even barbecue. I would call this a smoker. When I think of a barbecue, I think of a little cheap propane barbecue with a lid and some frozen burgers. This is like a smoker.
Yeah.
They call it barbecue, but it's better than barbecue for me.
Good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. The outside is almost like, I don't want to say dry, but that kind of bark. But the meat inside is so juicy. So the texture is amazing. You gotta kind of rip it off, and then it explodes with juice and flavor. So flavorful.
Sounds good.
So
Yummy.
flavorful.
Jean loves the green beans.
Yeah, both the beans.
Yeah. Yummy.
This is amazing. It's a bit sweet, almost like a bit of honey too.
Ah,
And just spiced just right. It might be better than the... It's good.
really?
It's good.
Wow. Better than
Wow,
the
it's
brisket.
good.
Wow. Let me try. Yummy.
This is succulent. It's so
Wow.
juicy. It's succulent, you know?
Yeah.
Wow, very good. All right, final review of Terry Black's barbecue. I'm gonna give the whole thing 4.5 stars. I probably got carried away giving that brisket 6 stars. Sometimes I get carried away when I see brisket. In the end, it was very good, although I think the best one for me still is Hurtado's. That's what I can recommend is Hurtado's barbecue is the best we've had. And now, in true barbecue fashion, we got some leftovers. And I'm so full, I'm gonna crawl home. So the video continues with the #1 best thing to do in the DFW area. Go to a Cowboys game. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, AT&T Stadium. My wife and I have seen 8 different stadiums this year because we're driving our RV to every single Dallas Cowboys game home and away. And still, after 8 different stadiums, the best stadium in the league.
The best one, that's right.
You would think it was built last year. It's surprisingly not very new, but it is so nice. So let's go watch Cowboys beat the Vikings, okay?
Woohoo! Oh, look at that.
Free sticker, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, and I am not exaggerating, the most top shelf, back row, the last seats in the house. Behind us, the chain link fence, baby. And just to top it off, we're sitting in front of a staircase all the way down to the field.
Defense! Defense! No way! Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness! The receiver turned and the ball was right there. That was an unguardable play. And so, the Dallas Cowboys lost the game. In a beautiful stadium that's worth seeing, they lost the game. And really that means they lost the season because now we are 6 wins, 7 losses, and 1 tie. So not exactly in the scope of our Dallas tour video, but personally very sad for us because my wife and I have driven this motorhome to every single Dallas Cowboys game. If you can believe it, we've driven 12,000 miles over the past 3.5 months to many different stadiums in many different cities. Now, just briefly before we go, the John F. Kennedy Assassination Museum, for me, is a must-do in Dallas. The only bad news is, in the museum is no videos allowed. But what's incredible is the museum is in the exact room where allegedly Lee Harvey Oswald shot the president. So from the street, you can look up to the 6th floor, I believe, and you'll see a little fake gun barrel sticking out the window because in the museum, they've got a full recreation of how he set up his rifle and everything. So you'll see 2 X's on the street, which by the way is a regular street where cars are driving by. Because the president was shot twice by Lee Harvey Oswald. And what I didn't expect is the museum is totally open to the idea that basically every eyewitness there said that there were multiple shooters in multiple places. So that's kind of perceived to be a conspiracy theory. So I thought the museum would have said, no, Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone and it's a tragedy and that's it. But they were more than open to the idea that there was some sort of government involvement and a cover-up and some sort of, like I say, conspiracy theory. So for me, it's a must-do, although no video allowed in the museum. All that being said, the Dallas tour was pretty good. What's unique about our DFW area of all the tourist attractions is they're easily 30, 40, even 50 miles apart. Right? A lot of cities you go to the city and you can walk to all the destinations.
Right.
In DFW, you're gonna need a vehicle.
Yeah.
That's a must have.
You got the Cowboys culture, which means the Western style Cowboys, and also the sports culture.
Boom.
And also the city culture, and the
Boom.
barbecue culture.
Food is good.
Oh, the food, the Texas
With
barbecue.
Latino influence, with Mexican influence in the
Yes,
food.
that's right.
So Tex Mex is a lot to do.
Yeah.
But you'll need a car because it's a big area. And so, with all that being said, the Cowboy season is over, and so is this video. Bye bye.